Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Call of Duty World at War. Today is a very special day. Well, not really, but it's kind of a special day to me, which is why we're back here playing World at War, though unfortunately, not a lot of other people seem to be back on World at War, because when I signed in this morning, there were only 340 total people on this game, and only 48 of them were actually playing the multiplayer. As you can see here, they're all in Team Deathmatch. Every other mode in the entire game is completely empty, and that is a real shame, man. Think about that for a second. There are more than double the amount of people in any given Blackout match than there are people playing the World at War multiplayer in total. This is a long fall from grace from the good old days when World at War had hundreds of thousands of people on at any given time on both Xbox and PlayStation, but then again, that's kind of to be expected when you're talking about a game that's over 10 years old. Now, the reason why we're back here on World at War today is because January 6th is sort of a special day for me. Up until a few days ago, I had no idea it was a special day. It just seemed like it was going to be like any other until I randomly found myself browsing through my old Xbox achievements. You see, back in the day, Treyarch would give you 0 gamerscore achievements for doing special things in the multiplayers of their games. There was an achievement called Go Get Some Sun for hitting 10th Prestige in World at War, which is a fantastic name, and of course there was also an achievement for hitting 1st Prestige. It turns out I ended up hitting 1st Prestige in World at War exactly 10 years ago today. Now, what makes this even cooler, at least to me, is today, on the 10-year anniversary of me hitting 1st Prestige and unlocking that icon, I re-unlocked that same icon by hitting level 100 in the Black Ops 4 multiplayer. Now, like I mentioned, I was looking at these achievements a couple of days ago, and I saw that my 10-year anniversary was coming up, and at the time, I was only Prestige Master like level 81 or 82 or something like that. So basically, I grinded for hours and hours on end to go up 20 levels over the course of the past couple of days, and mind you, that 20 levels at Prestige Master is something like 1.1 million experience or something like that, so it was definitely a pretty tough grind. Thankfully, I did have a little bit of help from those Monster Energy cans. Up until this point, I haven't even used them whatsoever. I know pretty much every other YouTuber's been abusing them since day one, but I never really did that because I knew I would eventually get to Prestige Master, and truth be told, I don't really like Monster all that much. I do like the espresso, I do like the ultra black, which is kind of like the cherry flavor, but the original flavor, which is what you have to get the double experience, was never really my cup of tea. But when I realized I had roughly 24 hours to go up through 20 levels of Prestige Master, I decided I should probably get some double experience, and it definitely helped me out in the long run. I also love the fact, going back to this, I love the fact that they used the original icons from the old games as well. It's not like Treyarch decided to recreate the old icons from the previous games. They very clearly used the exact same ones from back in the day. I mean, just look how low resolution the World at War icons are compared to the ones from Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 3. It's actually pretty fun to look at them if you compare them side by side. But going back to World at War here for a second, it's insane how much Call of Duty has changed over the years. Like, you play a lot of Black Ops 4 like I do, and then you hop on World at War, it is night and day different, which is kind of what I want to talk about here in this video. When you hop on to play an old game like this, it's literally like stepping into a time machine. You see the old Prestige icons, you hear, the old guns and the old footsteps, you see and feel the clunkiness of the movement, and occasionally somebody turns on their microphone and you remember just how bad audio quality was on the older Call of Duty games on the Xbox 360 and especially the old PlayStation 3. My freaking goodness. People label me as like an Xbox fanboy, but I did have a PS3 back in the day, and my goodness, the microphone quality, you guys remember how bad that was. It's a really surreal experience to go back and play these older games, right? As a YouTuber, I'm always so focused on what's happening right now and what's happening in the near future and even the distant future, but occasionally it's fun to just take a step back and go and play the classic games. So if you guys could, let me know down there in the comments, which classic game is your favorite to go back and play today? I would also really like to hear what game you guys started out on, because a lot of times, people's first game is their favorite, but sometimes it's also not true. Like, maybe somebody started out playing Modern Warfare 2, but Modern Warfare 3 was actually definitely their favorite. So let me know about that down there in the comments, because pretty much everybody knows my story, right? I started off with Call of Duty 4, but did you guys know that World at War was the first game I got really invested into? Throughout the first year of Call of Duty 4's life cycle, I did play the game quite a bit, but I would say I put in maybe 9 or 10 days of playtime throughout all of 2007/early 2008. It was my first Call of Duty experience, so therefore I was really bad, but I had a lot of fun playing it every single night, and of course playing with my friends. When World at War came out, something about this game just clicked for us. That group of 2 buddies and myself that I had back in COD 4 suddenly turned into a group of like 5 or 6 people that were on every single night, and we basically just played Search and Destroy together. I think in total I have 32 days of playtime on World at War, and about 15 or 16 days of those 32 days are simply just me playing Search and Destroy. There was something about this game's maps and the guns and the sounds and the feel that was just so addicting for me, and throughout World at War's first year, I think I put in something like 25 or 30 days of playtime. Now you guys may be wondering, if I played World at War so much and I enjoyed the game so much, why did it take me nearly 3 months to hit First Prestige? The achievement was on January 6th of 2009. Well, the answer is, this isn't even my first account. Back in the day, I had all sorts of accounts, right? I was kind of known among my friend group for switching accounts pretty much constantly, because I would always want a new name for Xbox Live. Back in the day, people really tried to have really cool and original gamer tags, and so instead of just buying the Microsoft points to change my gamer tag, which would make a ton of sense, by the way, who remembers Microsoft points, I would instead use those 48-hour codes, which would be inside of pretty much every game case ever, and just make a whole new account and then add time to that account, right? Eventually, I would end up settling on the account that I have now, but for some reason, Microsoft hasn't updated my account to say that I've had it for over 10 years. As you guys can see, my oldest achievement on this account is from December 30th of 2008, so I very clearly have been playing on this account for over 10 years, but that doesn't reflect on my profile for some reason. It's probably because Microsoft doesn't care about the old Xbox 360 interface, which is so much better than the Xbox One interface, but regardless, World at War was my first Call of Duty game that was super invested into, right? And then after I got really invested into World at War, I went back to Call of Duty 4 and finished out the prestiges and finished up the weapon challenges and things like that. If it wasn't for World at War, I don't think I'd still be playing Call of Duty today, and if it wasn't for World at War, I wouldn't be a YouTuber, which is really weird to think about, man. It's weird to just go back and play this game, because at the time, exactly 10 years ago today, I had just turned 17. I think I was a junior in high school, maybe a sophomore, but I'm thinking junior. I was obviously still living at home. It's so crazy to think about how much has changed since then. Not only things that have changed in my own personal life, but how things have changed in the world in general and to the people that I was playing the game with way back in the day. It's weird because we were all right there at that exact right age, right? We were all like 16, 17, a couple of us were actually 18 or 19, but we were all right at that perfect age where we had enough time to dedicate to playing video games, but adulthood was right around the corner, right? And lots of us ended up getting married, some of us had kids, a couple of us went to college, some of us started careers, other ones became YouTubers. It's really weird, man. It's really weird to look back and see that old group I had way back in the day and then look at where we all are right now. And what's even crazier to me is some of you guys watching this video, no doubt, are in that part of your journey, right? You guys, some of you watching this video are at that age. You're 16, 17, maybe 18 or 19, and adulthood is right around the corner, and you're playing Black Ops 4 with your friends every night, and just, to you guys, Black Ops 4 is to you what World at War was to me 10 years ago, and that's freaking mind-blowing to me, man. And every time I come back to play this game, all those memories just kind of come back to me. I think about the people I used to play with, and I think about where they are now and how things have changed over the years, and now here I am, almost 8 years into my YouTube career, unlocking a prestige icon exactly 10 years after I originally unlocked it. It's crazy how time flies, but ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much all I have for you guys here in this video. It was a super nostalgic video, but that's fun to do every now and then, right? And I would love to hear down there in the comments, which Call of Duty game was your first, which Call of Duty game was your favorite, and what are some of your favorite Call of Duty stories? I think I've told many stories on Dear Nero over the years, but one of my favorite stories was when this game was in its its prime, like I said, I played pretty much every night with a couple of my friends, and when we weren't playing Search and Destroy, we would oftentimes play Team Deathmatch, and my favorite map, and our favorite map, even to this day, was CeeLo, which I know people hate this map, but to me, it's still my all-time favorite because of all the great memories that I have on CeeLo. We would always camp in this 3-story building here with bouncing betties and sniper rifles because we would watch that movie, Enemy at the Gates, which is fantastic, by the way. If you guys haven't seen it, highly recommend it. But we would sit up there with our Mosin Nagans and try to pick people off across the map. It was really fun to us, and I never told anybody about this, but many years later, it's actually last year in 2018, the guy who made CeeLo emailed me. His name is David Vargo. He doesn't even work for Treyarch anymore. He hasn't even worked for Treyarch in a long time, but he saw my videos, right? He saw my top 10 maps in Call of Duty history video, and then my top 10 Treyarch maps video, and spoiler for both of those, CeeLo is number 1 in both of them because of all the awesome memories I have on this map, and he's the guy that made it, and he emailed me to let me know about this old blog post that he put together where he details how he created CeeLo in the first place, why he created it, and why he made the decisions that he did, and how he took the campaign map for CeeLo and revamped it for the multiplayer, and it was really neat to me. Like, picture that, like, from my perspective, as somebody who played this game in 2008 and adored this game. This is my favorite map of all time, even to this day, and then randomly, out of the blue, the guy who made the map is emailing me, thanking me for the kind words on the map itself, and actually, of course, letting me know how he created it and why he made the decisions that he did, and just basically dove deep into the development of the map itself. That's freaking cool, man, especially for somebody like me that has an old Call of Duty 4 dev kit with like the pre-alpha builds of Call of Duty 4 on it. I love this stuff. And yeah, so that's probably my favorite story, I think, of all time in the Call of Duty franchise. Like, my time spent playing with my friends on CeeLo, and then the guy that made CeeLo emailing me 10 years later to let me know about how he made the map. That was pretty freaking cool. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you guys here in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, leave your favorite Call of Duty stories down there in the comments, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.